Hello and welcome to episode number 5 of the Soggy Kookaburra podcast, which is my little podcast all about my knitting and crochet adventures. If it's your first time here, welcome aboard the crafty train. And if you're a returning viewer, welcome back and thank you so much for joining me again. My name's Kathy and I'm coming to you from a small town in North Wales in the UK. I live here with my husband, our teenage son, and our 2 cats, Pickle and Pooka. You might actually get a bit of a cameo of one of my cats because I have got the door open today because it's just too warm to have the room closed up, and they do tend to wander about. So if you're lucky, you may just see those furry felines. So since my last podcast, I have been absolutely knitting up a storm. I had a bit of a lull because we had something of a heat wave here in the UK, and but the weather has cooled down a little bit. So I have been knitting and knitting and knitting. My Instagram feed is absolutely chockers full of photos. If you want to find me online, I'm on Ravelry and Instagram as Soggy Kookaburra. So check me out if you want to. I'll certainly follow you as well on Instagram. I love seeing other people's crafty projects. So, what else admin wise? If you like this episode and you haven't already subscribed, please do so. There's a button just down there. And if you press the little bell button as well, then you'll get a little notification when I update. I do try and update about once a month, usually first or second weekend in the month. So far, so good anyway. I think that's everything, so we can crack on with the crafty content. First up, finished objects. Okay, so like I said, been quite busy, so I have 3 finished objects and quite significant ones. So first up is this wonderful Sockhead hat that I have been knitting for my husband for what feels like about a million years. So this is Sockhead Hat pattern by Kelly McClure. It's in, let's see, Cygnet Truly Wool Rich 4-ply, and the colourway is 2137 Denim Mix. It is lovely and slouchy. I'm going to try it on, but it's going to be far too big for me because I made it for Stu, and he's got a very big hat. But you can probably see it's quite slouchy. He has a lot of hair, so that's going to work quite well for him. He loves it. Oh, it's too warm to wear it today. He really loves it. He's looking forward to wearing it when the weather cools down. And I've got to be honest, my first Sockhead hat, I'm really pleased with how it came out. It's this gorgeous, and I know I've shown you this before, but the colour is just, it's ever so slightly variegated. It's quite a sturdy wool, so it's not wildly soft, but it doesn't have to be. And it's just, I love the way it's come out. I love the top. I used double pointed needles for the first time. I've never used DPNs before. They were a breeze. I mean, I wouldn't want to knit a whole sock using DPNs, but for just the little end of the Sockhead hat, yeah, it was fine. I managed it, no worries. So I can add that to my list of things that I have done. So yeah, really, really pleased with that. I am ever so pleased it's off the needles because, as I say, because it's such a large size, it just took forever, and there is literally miles of stockinette stitch. So yeah, that's finished object number 1. Really, really pleased with it, and more importantly, Stu's very pleased with it. So on the same lines, another Sockhead hat. Now I've started my Christmas knitting because although I don't have a lot of people to knit for Christmas, because obviously all my family's on the other side of the world, and we tend to have a very small Christmas celebration, just me and my fella and our boy. So I don't have a lot of gifts to knit, but I do tend to knit very slowly, so I like to start as early as possible. So my very best friend over here, his mum is a crafter, big crafter, and therefore likely to be very knit worthy. So I decided to make her a Sockhead hat. Same pattern, but obviously a much smaller size. Now this one does fit me a bit better, so I can probably show you. I made it slightly less slouchy than Stu's one because I think, you know, it doesn't need to be massively slouchy. So this yarn is a King Cole zigzag. It's a sock yarn, And I wanted to see how the self-patterning sock yarn worked on a hat. I have seen some on Ravelry and I thought they looked quite good, but I was a bit, we'll see how it goes. Really pleased with it. You see, it's these gorgeous purples and maroons. It's really, really nice. It's come out beautifully. It was so much quicker to knit. Maybe because I knew what I was doing as well, so I could just sort of mindlessly knit along, especially once I got past the ribbing. So this yarn, it's King Cole Zigzag. The colour is 1865 Vivid. And as I say, it's just a sock yarn, so that makes it, let's see, 75% superwash wool and 25% nylon. So yeah, really, really pleased with that hat. I think it looks fabulous, and I had a little bit of yarn left over. So I thought, as part of Marina's Christmas gift, I would make her some matching socks, which I did, which I've also finished. So finished object number 3. So here they are. You can see I used the King Cole yarn for this part, and then I did a contrasting heel and then like a really long toe, because I knew I wasn't going to have enough yarn in this zigzag colorway to do right down to where the toe decreases start. So I thought, well, I'll just, you know, use a different yarn. So this was just, I don't even know what this yarn is. It was just a ball of purple sock yarn, plain purple sock yarn that I had without a ball band bouncing around in my stock, and I thought, perfect. So yeah, it's I'm pretty happy with them. They actually do match fairly well as well, which is probably more luck than good management. Just a absolutely standard vanilla sock pattern. They're quite short, so they're shorties for me, because you know I usually tend to do quite long legs. It's a modified Eye of Partridge heel, and it does, I love the way that it does that pattern. I love that. Every time I do it, I'm just like, oh, that looks so great. So yeah, a little pair, and these are only size 5.5. I had to guess on her foot size. I you know, surreptitiously looking at her feet. When I saw her, I took a stab and guessed, because my best friend had no idea what size foot his mom has, because, you know, why would you? So yeah, they knitted up pretty quickly. Yeah, really, really pleased with them. So I quite like the long contrasting toe. It just, you know, for something a bit different. So hopefully they will fit her. I'm sure they will. And hopefully she likes them. And as I say, so that's going to be her Christmas gift. Socks and matching beanie. So yeah, I'm really, really pleased with that. So that's my 3 finished objects. And I feel quite proud of that, because I don't tend to finish that many objects usually. So go me, excuse me, coffee. In my lovely Celtic mug that I think I bought when I was in Scotland, when my friend from Australia, Belle, she came over and we went up to Scotland. Pretty confident that's where I bought this mug. It's one of my favourites. Always reminds me of our lovely holiday up there with Belle. Okay, so that's my finished objects, and I've got, as per usual, quite a few works in progress. So I'm going to start off with this one. Now, I have worked the least on this one. It is, and I showed it to you last episode, it's in my I'm Really a Mermaid project bag, which I can't even remember where I got that from, like a pound shop or something. And it is my Reyna shawl. So this is the shawl that I am knitting for the Fandom 2018 KAL, which is actually technically over, so I have run over that KAL, but I've been enjoying making it. I have been a little lax on working on it, not because I don't love it, but just because I've been excited about starting other projects, and you know how that happens. You know, you start a new project and that's all you want to do. And I long since decided that this is my hobby, this is what I do for fun, and I refuse to feel obligated to do anything. So I just work on what I fancy, and if things take months to get finished, then so be it. It's not the end of the world. Anyway, back on track. Tangent and a half. So this is the Reyna shawl. I can't really show you again. It's because it's on such long circular needles, but it's coming along. I'm probably about halfway through it now. I am still loving this yarn, and I'm really looking forward to wearing it in the winter because it's so soft. And I don't know whether that's because it's got the yak in it or what, but so this yarn is Tibentan 4-ply. So it's 70% superwash merino, 20% yak, and the rest is nylon. And the colourway is Pink Explosion. It is lovely, and I am going to wear it in the winter for definite, because it's just, these are my colours. You know, I don't know if they suit me or not, but they're the colours that I love, the deep reds, the deep purples, a little bit of hot pink. But yeah, it has been languishing a little bit. So I will get back into it, but it might not be for a little while. So that's kind of, it's also not the sort of knitting I can sort of do while I'm doing anything else. I do still have to concentrate on the pattern. So it's no good for TV knitting or travel knitting or knitting while I'm supposed to be having a conversation, anything like that. So it is very much I have time to sit down and just concentrate on it. So yeah, that might be part of it as well, why I haven't maybe worked on it as much lately. So anyway, that's kind of in progress, and it'll probably be in progress until the winter, truthfully. But that's okay, I don't mind. So yeah, so that's my Reyna shawl. It's been really lovely actually on the Fandom Knit and Crochet Facebook group that ran the KAL, watching everybody else's shawls develop and how good they look and all the different colourways and what's inspired them. That's been really fun. Okay, so work in progress number 2. Again, these are ones that you will have seen before. This is in my, probably the only actual project bag, as in official. This is a crafting project bag by Hobby Gift. I think I just bought it at Abercorn Fabrics. It's cute, isn't it? It's not really the size. I don't love the shape. I've got to be honest. I like my toiletry bags. They're a more practical shape for me. But this is nice. This is nice. So you will have seen me working on these. Certainly my first podcast. These are the socks for my husband. So these are going to be his Christmas socks. Not because they're Christmas themed, just because that's when he's going to get them. So I've done one. Isn't that fantastic? I mean, these are huge as well. He's a UK size 12. So big feet. Just a vanilla sock, because the pattern on the yarn is so busy. I really didn't want anything to distract from that. And I love the way that this, just again, modified partridge heel. It's a eye of partridge heel. It's not anything fancy, but I love the way it plays with the colours there. So this is West Yorkshire Spinners. Again, one of my favourite brands for sock yarn, commercial sock yarn. And the colourway is Peacock. Isn't that great? I love that. He chose the yarn as well out of my stash. So I've got one sock done, and the other one, just started the leg. And again, these are long socks, so they're going to take me a while, but I am cracking on with it. We went to the cinema, Stu and I, to watch The Incredibles 2. Not a great film, to be honest, but we had free tickets. Anyway, I got quite a lot of, all this was done in the cinema. I love cinema knitting, but it's got to be something I don't have to watch what I'm doing. So obviously anything complicated is out. But round and round on 9-inch circulars, perfect for cinema knitting. So I did manage to get all of that done in the film, which I thought was not bad going. So yeah, so they are work in progress. I'm kind of hoping to get them done sooner rather than later, so that, you know, I can tick them off my Christmas present list. And I have made socks for Stu before, so I know that he is very sort of knit worthy. He really likes wearing the ones that I've made him previously. These are a bit brighter. The ones I made for him last time were just grey, and they were really nice grey, and they were like a bamboo mix as well, so they were really soft. And he just sort of, in the winter, he just wore them every other day. Whenever I washed them, they'd get worn, which is great. That's what we knit for, isn't it? So people enjoy what we actually make. What else have I got? Next project. Now this one, I don't know who I'm making this for. It's another Sockhead hat. It might be for me. It's sparkly. I don't know, you might be able to see the sparkle in it. It's all blacks and greys and yeah. So I'm sort of about halfway through, I suppose. It's very cool. I do like it. The colour's not really showing true because the sun's just gone behind the clouds. It's been sunny all morning and now I'm recording and the sun's gone away. So it looks a little brown on camera, but it is all greys and silvers and black. So yeah, it's, what yarn is that? aha, I have a ball band. It's Las Vegas 4-ply superwash. So it's 72% virgin wool, 24% polyamide, and 4% polyester. It's a little scratchy. It is sock yarn. I don't know that I'd make socks out of it though. I don't know. Maybe because of the sparkle, maybe a little bit scritchy. I'm not sure. I think it'd be alright for a beanie because you don't tend to wear your beanie on your skin really, more on the hairline. So it might be for me. Depends. I've got another ball of yarn that I'm thinking actually I quite like to do for myself. So this might become another Christmas gift. I have some lovely ladies that are part of a professional network that I see every couple of months, and they have expressed that they would quite like perhaps some beanies or socks, so perhaps that would become one of theirs. This is in the small size. It is the Sockhead Hat by Kelly McClure. As with everything I'm talking about, all the links and descriptions and information about these are in the description bar just below. So you can click onto the Ravelry link. This is a free pattern, which is always good. We like free patterns. Likewise with the vanilla sock pattern that I tend to use, that's a free pattern as well. So yeah, that's kind of happening. Really brainless knitting this. I love it. And sometimes when my hands get a bit sore from knitting tiny little toothpick socks, it's nice to go to a bigger needle size. So yeah, kind of interested to see how that comes out. It's not coming out as I thought it would. I wasn't expecting it to stripe quite like this, so it's not bad. It's just not what I was expecting. Okay, so that's that one. What else have I got? More Christmas knitting. So, you know, I said that purple stripy, this sock and beanie set was for my best friend's mum. So my best friend's dad, I couldn't leave him out. So I thought I'd make him some socks. He's not really a beanie wearer, but he would wear socks. So these are suitably masculine colourway, this one. I finished one and I'm about halfway through the other. Thankfully, he hasn't got massive feet. Again, I took a bit of a guess. That's about size 10, UK 10. So this is Lion brand Sockies yarn, which my dear friend Emma brought over from the States last time she was over for me. It's colourway called Taffy 202. And you can see it's kind of browns and blues and darker blues and oranges. It's interesting. And if you recall last episode, I was having a bit of a crisis of conscience or something about my gussets. I wasn't comfortable that I was doing them right. So with this pair, I actually went back to basics and looked up a couple of video tutorials and found out where I'd been going wrong. And it's daft. I've made so many pairs of socks and I've been doing the gussets in a certain way, which isn't wrong, but it's not quite right either. And it works. It doesn't affect the fit of the sock, but it doesn't look perfect. Anyway, this time I've actually got it right, so I'm really happy. I don't know whether you can see that the gusset decreases are going the right direction. The ones I was doing before were going this way, which, as I say, doesn't affect the fit, just doesn't look quite as good. And it means that when I do the Hermione sock pattern again, which I will, the pattern on the top of the sock will be wider, whereas the ones I did for my sister, because the gusset stitches were coming in, then the pattern was only on quite a small, it was only about 1 inch wide on the top. And again, it looked okay, but it wasn't quite right. So I'm really, really pleased. Anyway, now I've got it in my head how I need to do those gusset decreases. So that's one sock, and I have just turned the heel on the second one. You see my little pussycat progress keeper there. I have so many progress keepers. Do you collect them? I collect them. No way I could use all the progress keepers that I have, or stitch markers, whatever you want to call them. But I collect them because I see them online and on Etsy, and I think, oh, they're lovely, I must have them. Anyway, I digress. So yeah, so that's the other work in progress I've got going on. I have also got some planned projects. I really want to make something bright and colourful, possibly for myself. I find it hard to knit for myself. I prefer to knit for other people. I don't know why that is, because I quite enjoy wearing my own products, particularly socks, But yeah, I do find it easier, more motivating to knit for somebody else. But I've got a hankering to something bright and colourful. I have some West Yorkshire Spinners yarn in it's one of the cocktail ranges. What's it called? It's not Tropicana. Anyway, it's basically rainbow stripes, self-striping yarn. And I've got 2 balls of that, and I'm thinking, oh, matching socks and beanie. Maybe, that's a thought. And I've also got some sparkly rainbow yarn. I think I showed it a couple of episodes ago. I bought it. I can't think which brand it is now, but I really feel like something bright and colourful, especially after all this masculine knitting. Why are guys so dull? Though, to be fair, Stu tends to like his bright socks. So, one of the other things that I really want to crack on, I've even got it all ready to go in my project bag, though I haven't cast on yet, is my son Sebastian wants socks and a beanie for Christmas. So he's chosen his yarn, which is this, West Yorkshire Spinners again. I don't have shares with West Yorkshire Spinners, by the way. I just really like the yarn. And it's really good value. I think I pay about £7.40, £7.20 for 100 grams. You know, that's not bad. That is not bad. And you see, look, I've even got the stitch markers ready to go. Oh, it's fading out a bit there, sorry. These are my new stitch markers, and I just love them. They're little glass baubles. They look like little marbles. So this is West Yorkshire Spinners in the Blue Lagoon colourway, and it's self-striping, so it's going to be all these lovely blues and greens and light blues, and yeah. So I've got 200 grams of this, so I'm going to do a pair of socks and a beanie, and I will have leftover yarn for both of those, so I may even get another pair of shorty socks out of it. Or if not shorty socks, then something else. So that's kind of next to cast on, I think, because, as I say, Christmas will be with us sooner than you think. And I would like to have both the hat and the socks done for that. I can't actually start that until I've finished the sparkly grey beanie, because I only have one of those circular needles. And, you know, I could do them on DPNs, but I'm not going to. What else? So that's kind of my plan. So something bright and colourful, probably sock related, and Sebastian's socks and beanies, and stash additions. Now I've been really good. The last few months I've been really disciplined. I've very deliberately, we went down to London, Stu and Sebastian and I, earlier this week on the Tuesday, to go to the Australian consulate and do our passport renewal. And I know that there are quite a few very, very nice yarn shops in London, Loops and wool, I can't actually remember what they're called now, Woolly something. And anyway, I was really disciplined. I thought, no, I'm not going to even go in there, because if I go in there, I'm going to buy yarn. And let's be honest, I don't need more yarn. I have an enormous box of sock yarn. And all the cupboards under my spare bed are filled with yarn. I don't need more yarn. So I was really disappointed, and I was really proud of myself. And then yesterday when I was up in Northwich, my best friend and I went for a walk into town, which I wasn't anticipating. But in Northwich town centre, there is this lovely yarn shop. And I've been there before, and I've spoken to the ladies who run it, and they're lovely. I mean, I think the yarn shop's been there since the late 1940s or something. So it's a really established local yarn shop. Only small, but they've got a really nice range. And, you know, you get chatting, don't you? Anyway, so the yarn shop is called, I don't know whether you're going to be able to see that, Crafty Stitches Limited. It's in Northwich, which is in Cheshire. So that's about 40 minutes from me, 40-minute drive from me. And I kind of maybe accidentally went in there, and kind of maybe accidentally 2 balls of yarn fell into my bag, and then accidentally my wallet opened and all the money fell onto the counter. Oops. But it's lovely yarn. I got 2 balls, and originally I was only going to get 1, but they have like a limit on, you know, they won't let you use a card if it's less than £10. So instead of walking away, which I probably should have done at that point, I kind of went, oh well, I'll have to have 2 balls then. Anyway, I can't regret it. It's, you know, it's useful. Look, if we have a zombie apocalypse or whatever, I am your girl for making socks. Sorted. I've got enough to cover people in socks for months. Anyway, gosh, I'm really tangential today. I'm not sure that's a word. Lots of tangents. Socks, yarn. Let's back to this now. So, Heart and Soul. Sida. This is a self-striping yarn. Nice wide stripes. It's all purples and greens and blues and like a light duck egg blue. I've never knit with Heart and Soul. I've heard about it a lot. A lot of the American knitters that I watch on podcasts and such like, they use this a lot, so I assume it's an American brand. This is shade 0103. Oh, covered in cat hair already. Only bought it yesterday. Yeah, it's 4-ply yarn. Let's see, 75% wool, 25% nylon. Now, it doesn't say, oh no, it's not American, it's English, in Wakefield apparently. Sidar Spinning, there you go. Learn something new. Maybe it's just a very popular brand over in the States. What it doesn't say is whether it's superwash. I suppose it must be, because it does say you can wash it in the machine washable. So I'm going to assume that's probably superwash something, superwash wool. So that's really nice. I quite like them. I haven't got anybody in mind for that, but it could be anybody actually, because it's such lovely colours. And then the other one, this is the one that I actually originally went in for. Oh, I didn't go in for, but it was the first ball that I kind of went, yes, I must have this. So it's an opal yarn. I like opal yarns. I've knit with that before. It's another sock yarn. And I don't know whether you're going to be able to see. That's what the finished sock's going to look like. So this yarn is called, the colourway is called Sunrise, I think. Or possibly 1704. I'm not real sure. It's not sunrisey to me. This is watermelon colours. It's all, you know, you could look at that. It's like the pinks and the greens and the, yeah, watermelon. So these socks, and I already know who these socks are going to go to, and I'll tell you about that when I cast them on. To me, watermelon. So these are going to be watermelon socks, regardless of what the ball band says. So yeah, I really love that though. I mean, it's not my colours, but I know somebody who is going to love them, and it's going to be perfect for them, and I will tell you about that when I actually cast them on. So that is definitely very, very soon want to cast that on, because again, Christmas gift. Takes me a million years to knit a pair of socks. I was going to say knock a pair of socks out then. Knit a pair of socks. So yeah. Anyway, I think that is the lot really. And as I say, if you are in Cheshire and if you are in Northwich, sorry, look, there's a pickle. Hey, hey pickle. This is my pickle cat. Yeah, he's like, Mum, I don't know that I want to be on camera. So this is the furry one that ends up with fur all over my knitting. I don't know where the other one is. Quite often, Puka will sit, can you see the cat bed up on top of the wardrobe just behind me? That's where the other one tends to sit. But I'm not sure where she is at the moment. She might be upstairs lying on Sebastian, because it's only 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So of course Sebastian is still in bed because it's school holidays. Anyway, from me and my cats, I'm going to finish up. And I look forward to seeing you again in about a month. Let me get down. There you go. And I hope you have a really knitty, crafty, wonderful month. And enjoy the rest of the summer. And I shall see you again soon. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already. And thank you to those who have subscribed. It gives me a real thrill to see when somebody subscribes. Oh, somebody wants to see me. Wow, that sounds really pathetic. Anyway, have a fantastic month and I will see you again soon. Bye.